There's a monkey on the loose? Hey everyone, happy to be coming to you from my studio here in St. Louis, Missouri. For those of you who don't know me, my name is John Schenk, and I'm the founder and managing broker of Deerwood Realty here in St. Louis. Got a great story for you today out of, I believe, Nevada. But before we get to that, I just wanted to mention I'd like this to be a community where we can all kind of contribute. And so, leave me a voicemail, tell me a story about your neighbors, and we'll kind of go over it. We'll dissect it. We'll see if, is your neighbor in the wrong? And we'll kind of group source it. We'll kind of crowdsource it and see how it goes. So the phone number for that is 314-274-3964. You can get in touch with me also. You can send me an email at media@deerwoodrealtystl.com. We've got 8 subscribers so far. I think now the goal is going to be 10. If we can just get to 10 subscribers, that would be great. And so tell your friends, tell your family, tell anybody who will listen to you that Deerwood Realty and Friends has a podcast now, and you should be listening to it. So with that, let's get into our article for the day. And that's going to be the headline, Reno Pet Monkey might not be returned to owner after escaping in May, documents show. We're going to go with Gebbe, and we're not even going to try and pronounce what the animal is. We're going to go with monkey. Might not be returned to its owner after escaping from its Reno home and injuring 4 people last month. This was the monkey's second escape. In 2015, Animal Services responded to a call of a monkey in the neighborhood. Photos taken at the time show Gebbe sitting on the top of a roof, or on the roof of a house. And Gebbe is just one of 8 exotic animals in Washoe County at this time. When Gebbe escaped on May 25th, Animal Services were called to Northwest Reno neighborhood and eventually captured the monkey after 4 neighbors were injured. The neighbor said his daughter and mother were among those injured. He says he does not want the monkey to return to the neighborhood. His daughter and mother were both bitten and scratched by Gebbe and received several rabies shots. They're awaiting blood work results in case the monkey carries any diseases. The victim's attorney said Gebbe also bit 2 other children in the neighborhood. After being captured, the monkey was placed under a mandatory 10-day quarantine in case it has rabies. And from what I understand, rabies shots are tremendously painful. Now, that's just what I've heard. I don't have anything to back that up. Luckily, I've never had to get a rabies shot. County documents do not detail how Gebbe escaped, but said that the owner's account matched neighbors' stories about how the monkey escaped. So they don't know how it got out. And we'll just continue to go down. Jennings said ideally the monkey will place in an appropriate sanctuary. However, she is unaware of any sanctuaries for primates in northern Nevada. And then here's the part that I found so fascinating. Monkeys, bobcats, and pythons. There are 8 exotic pets registered in Washoe County, according to the data provided by the Washoe County Regional Animal Services. Those 8 pets are Gebbe the monkey, Sally the Burmese python, Craig the Burmese python, Mercutio the capuchin monkey, Sweetie the mountain lion, Bobby the bobcat, Katrina the bobcat, Newman the serval. It says permits are not required for Tier 1 exotic pets, such as chinchillas, hedgehogs, and sugar gliders. Permits are required for Tier 2 and 3 exotic pets. Examples of Tier 2 pets include animals such as an ocelot, serval, kinkajou, and constrictors that are, I believe, 12 feet long and weigh over 30 pounds. County documents say Gebbe is charged as categorized as a Tier 3 exotic pet. they're required to have a $250,000 liability insurance coverage. Other Tier 3 pets include clouded leopards, wolves, Komodo dragons, and tigers. If an exotic animal permit application is approved by the county, conditions may be placed on the permit, such as annual inspections by the animal services and requiring an emergency plan, including evacuation and escape procedures. So I will leave a link to this in the description below. I think this is a fantastic article and very, very well written and very informative. Should I ever desire to move to Reno to have an exotic pet, I feel like I will be in really, really good shape. So I have questions, and just thought I'd like to go through those with you. And so here we go. Number one, Gebbe is a sneaky monkey. This monkey has escaped twice now. Now I'm not anti-exotic pet. I am a little bit uncomfortable with how some pets are sourced. So, like, where are we getting this pet? Are we just going somewhere where no one's, paying attention? We pilfer an ocelot. So I don't agree with that. And I don't know if there's like ocelot farms. I mean, I have no knowledge of this. If you want to keep an exotic pet, should you be allowed? I guess. I don't know. But anyway, that leads me to the next one is, should neighbors be alerted to exotic pets? So let's say you're looking at houses in a neighborhood to buy, and you come across this house and it really fits in perfect, but you don't notice that there's a tiger living in the backyard. And I thought that was a little silly, like I really did. But then when I looked at the article, a Tier 3 pet is considered as a tiger is a Tier 3 pet. So as what I'm reading, as long as you have $250,000 in liability coverage, and you meet up with all the other criteria for having a tiger, you can have one in your backyard. Oh, you need an evacuation plan. But let's just say in the suburbs, let's not talk about, dense urban condos or something like that. Let's just talk about the suburbs. Would you be comfortable living next to someone who owns a tiger? And I'm just using a tiger. That to me would be the worst situation. A large 12-foot or larger boa constrictor. I don't know. Let people own what they want, but it gets a little weird when we're talking about some of these animals. So anyway, should that be something on a disclosure? By the way, I live next to a tiger, and I don't think it's fun, and I want to leave. I'm moving because of this reason. So then imagine you're driving home from work, okay, and you see a monkey on the street or on the roof, and it jumps off and it bites you. Now, how mad are you going to be about that? Like, not at all. And like I said, I think no matter when an animal bites you, if you need to go to see somebody about if the animal has rabies. So those shots, like I said, apparently hurt. So that was something that I was curious about. And then in the article, it says there's a criminal citation for having an unrestrained animal against the owner, like a leash law for monkeys. So is there some, like, we have a leash law in the county that all dogs have to be on a leash. I don't know what it is for cats. I don't know what it would be for monkeys. I don't know if monkeys are allowed in St. Louis. I've seen a monkey in the county. I don't know if it's allowed. I've never seen a tiger or a larger than 12-foot boa constrictor. An ocelot would be kind of cool, I think. I don't know. After about the age of 12, you're kind of done with the exotic pets are cool. You just go to the zoo. But teach their own. I mean, I'm sure there's some dedicated exotic animal keepers out there that really care about their animals and do a good job, and more power to them. So finally, if an exotic animal application is approved by the county, this is in Nevada, conditions may be placed on the permit, such as animal inspections by animal services and requiring an emergency plan, including evacuation and escape procedures. So think about that. You're going to get this, let's say, boa constrictor, and he gets loose. And now you have to have an evacuation procedure, evacuation and escape procedure. And this is where it gets dicey. Can you imagine? Nice couple, some little kids playing outside, and they see a, larger than 12-foot boa constrictor slithering up by them. Now, that's not a good situation. I don't think. And then, if we were talking about this in the context of the article with Gobble the Turkey, this wouldn't be an issue. The police would come in and shoot, and then they'd miss, or they'd wing it, and then it would be half dead, and then they'd stab it with a knife. So that wouldn't be an issue. But I don't know about around here, and I just think that's kind of wild. And then your permit with that exotic animal permit, you're required to have at least a $250,000 liability insurance. So, like, if your tiger eats someone, it sure does seem like you're going to be sued for a lot more than $250,000. I mean, that's just the way I'm looking at it. Now, maybe you have a different opinion. And I guess the question that I would say, the way I would frame it is this: would you, what would you do? What would you be content with? I'm all for property rights, but like I said, I'm not going to be able to fend off a tiger if it comes after me. And somehow I feel like I should know that. Now, you obviously have disclosures of these pets as far as from the county. It looks like here you can go online and look up who has an exotic pet, at least what zip code they're in and what it is. But maybe something should be done a little more than that, maybe somebody's out there that's a tiger apologist and says, they're not as vicious as they seem to be. Okay, if you say so. But I'm curious, what would you guys do if you live next to a tiger or a boa constrictor or an ocelot or some of those other things that I can't pronounce? Give me a call, 314-274-3964. Send me an email, media@deerwoodrealtystl.com, and I'll catch you on the next one.